Hey everyone, it's Sam here from Sugar Spun Run, and today I'm showing you how to make Rocky Road brownies. I love these Rocky Road brownies. We have a simple basic brownie layer topped with chocolate and almonds and marshmallows. These are so good and I'm so excited to share the recipe with you. Now the first thing you're going to want to do is preheat your oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Next, you are going to need 12 tablespoons or 1.5 sticks of unsalted butter, and you want to go ahead and melt this. So I've melted mine in a large microwave safe bowl, and now I'm going to add my cocoa powder. You need 3/4 cup of natural cocoa powder. I'll just stir this in with the butter. Now, oftentimes with my cookie recipes where I use melted butter, I recommend waiting until that butter has cooled before you add your sugar. Now, with the cocoa powder, we don't need to worry about doing that. This warm butter is actually going to help the cocoa powder bloom a little bit. It's going to help develop that chocolate flavor, so you can add it right away. So we have a nice chocolatey base for our brownie layer, because that's what we're making first, is our brownie layer. So we'll add our sugar. You need 1 cup of granulated sugar and a 1/2 cup of firmly packed light brown sugar. And I'm just going to stir everything together. Now we'll stir in 1 teaspoon of pure vanilla extract, and we'll also add our eggs. You will need 2 large eggs plus 1 egg yolk for this recipe. And I'm just going to stir everything together. So once your wet ingredients are combined, we're going to set this aside, and you're going to need a separate bowl for your dry ingredients. You'll need about a medium-sized bowl, and you'll need 1 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour. We'll stir in a teaspoon of cornstarch and a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. Stir everything together. Now add your flour mixture to your chocolate mixture and just stir until everything's completely combined. So now that we have our brownie batter prepared, we are going to pour this into a 9x13 baking dish. Now, as you can see, I've lined mine with parchment paper. You can grease and flour it instead, but the reason I've lined it with parchment paper is it's going to make it really easy to grab these edges and lift the brownies out when we're finished. It's going to make it really easy to put that Rocky Road topping on top. So I'm just going to spread this batter evenly into the pan. Now let's take our brownies to our 350 degree Fahrenheit oven, where they will need to bake for about 16 to 18 minutes, or until a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean, or preferably with a few fudgy crumbs. You're going to want to let these brownies cool completely before we cover it with our Rocky Road topping. Now, once they've cooled, let's head over to the stovetop and let's make that fudge topping. You're going to need a medium-sized saucepan. And to that saucepan, we're going to add 2 cups of chocolate chips. Now, I'm using a mix of semi-sweet and milk chocolate chips because my husband hates it when I make chocolate that's too dark, so I was going to try to temper out that semi-sweet chocolate with a little milk chocolate. You can use whatever blend you prefer. We'll also add 3/4 cup of heavy cream and 2 tablespoons of corn syrup. And I'm also going to add just a dash of salt for a little flavor. So now we're going to turn our heat to low, and we're going to stir constantly until the chocolate is completely melted. You don't want to walk away from this or your chocolate could end up seizing. You want to keep stirring until everything is smooth and your chocolate is melted. So our chocolate mixture is looking pretty good right now. So I'm actually going to remove this from heat. And now we can add our nuts. You're going to need 3/4 cup of coarsely chopped nuts, and I'm using almonds because when I think of Rocky Road, I think of almonds. So stir these almonds into the chocolate until they're completely coated. Now, obviously, the next thing that we need to add is our marshmallows, but we do not want to add them to the chocolate just yet. The chocolate is going to be a little too hot right now. It could melt the marshmallows, and we want to be able to bite into distinct marshmallow pieces because that's what Rocky Road is all about. So I'm going to let this ganache cool for another 10 minutes, and once that's cooled, we are going to add our marshmallows. I'm using 2 heaping cups of mini marshmallows. And we'll stir these in until they're completely coated by the chocolate. Now we can go ahead and pour this over our brownies. Use your spatula to spread that chocolate marshmallow mixture out to the corners of your brownie pan. Now, if you'd like, at this point, you can top this off with additional coarsely chopped almonds. I would not add additional marshmallows because those that are exposed to the air, they're going to get stale really fast. I also usually like to top everything off with just a light sprinkling of coarse sea salt. Now, all that's left to do for these Rocky Road brownies is to let them sit and let that chocolate cool completely before we dig in. This is probably going to take at least an hour. All right, well, these have had about 30 minutes to chill, and I'm just not patient enough to wait any longer. So I'm going to remove them from their pan, and as you can see, the parchment paper is making this nice and easy for us. Let's go ahead and dig in. All right, now would you look at that? Now, this is still a little bit sticky because I didn't have the patience to wait for the chocolate to completely firm up, but look at those marshmallow pieces, all of these chopped almonds. These are Rocky Road brownies, and I think you're going to love them. If you guys give this recipe a try, please let me know what you think. I always love hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Hey, if you guys enjoyed today's Rocky Road brownie recipe, I would really appreciate it if you would give me a thumbs up. Please make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Also, if you enjoyed today's recipe, here are a few others you might like as well.